All right, guys, instant reacts to the Iron Claw, and I'm here at the DGA, one of the first screenings of this film, and I've got to be upfront with you. When I was a kid, I watched World Class Championship Wrestling. I had Von Erich brother pictures on the wall, shirtless pictures of Kerry, of Kevin, and to see the film is a different experience, I think, for me than maybe for some of you who aren't familiar with the Von Erich story and the tragedy that befell the family. It is a very well-constructed film by Sean Durkin. I mean, you go back and you look at what he did to Mary Marlene way back in, what was that, 2010, 2011. I was really impressed with his filmmaking at that time. He is a very minimal filmmaker, so what you get here is really the right fit of director to story, and we don't always get that, right? It's sometimes a mismatch, and I think this story and all the tragedy that befell this family and the hard driving father, the unforgiving father, and really driving his kids to enter the world of pro wrestling. And the story's told through Kevin Von Erich's eyes, Zac Efron, who is strong here. I think all the performances across the board very strong, and I think that the film does a nice job of telling the story without being too preachy, which is always an issue when you're going to go something and do a film this dark. It's a very dark drama. It reminded me a lot of the film Foxcatcher, not just because they both deal with wrestling, one pro and one amateur, but they really have the same feel to them. I wouldn't be surprised if I were to ask Sean Durkin what inspired you with this film. He would bring up Foxcatcher because you really feel it here. And I think that this is a film that, especially if you are a Von Erich historian like myself, someone who watched them, you are going to feel this film that much more. I think even if you're not, it's told this story well, and it will be accessible for you. And for an A24 film, we talk about, so often that their films are either going to be really great or something that's going to maybe not really work for you. This is a very accessible film for the A24 brand, and I expect this to do solid business when it opens up later in December. It's going to hit that Christmas corridor, a really great spot, and the film delivers. It's a strong film. Is it a Best Picture? Listen, for me, it's a different experience than it probably will be for a lot of people who aren't familiar with this story. For me, it's one of my favorite films of the year, and really don't have a lot I would change about the film. And ultimately, really, when you talk about a reaction to a film, that's pretty much the highest praise you can have, is that I wouldn't change much about this film. And honestly, that's as good as it gets for me as a film evaluator. From the DGA, I'll see you next time on MMT. Peace out.